Welcome to my channel. This is CA Rohit Bhatt, and as I'm starting my YouTube journey, I'll just brief you about me. I have cleared CA final exams with All India rank 12 in January 2026, and in intermediate also I had a rank of 22. So let me first uh, brief you about the subject which was very important for me in securing holiday rank 12. It was financial reporting. As you might know, in January 26 exam, even the All India rank 1 secured 82 or 83 marks in financial reporting, and I got 81. And it was kind of not a difficult paper, but it was different from what has been coming. So basically, in previous years, the papers used to be more or less numerical based. However, our paper was analytical based also, where theory questions or theory case studies and analytical questions were asked. So first, the first question is, whose class did I take? It was one and only Akash Mandoi sir, and it was the best decision I could make. And to get here, I did 4 to 5 complete full syllabus revisions of FR, one of which was even before I had started my study leaves. Um, then I did 6 to 7 full syllabus mock tests, especially for financial reporting, and they were mock test series which were checked by experts through various paid test series. Uh, and my one advice for FR as a subject would be, it is a huge subject. So just follow one book. Like I followed Akash Mandoi sir's book only. It is based on IC study material, has RTP, MTP, PYQs covered. So nothing beyond that was required. So I did that religiously. In the first division, I did all the questions, but then I kept on reducing the number of questions. Like I used to cut the repetitive questions and questions which are relatively simpler, because that is how I was able to reduce the number of questions. Otherwise, there would be around 1500 questions in FR, which is humanly not possible to cover in study leaves in last 4 or 5 days. So, and I used to write simple notes also in the book. If you need, I'll just upload a sample of one chapter of my book where I had done those markings. And as Sir gives LDR questions, for those who do not know, LDR stands for Last Day Revision Questions. I referred that list plus questions which I found unique or difficult from a Sir's book. That was which I followed primarily, and I always try to do the good or difficult and big questions in copy and register in the same way I had to do in exams. I would make the journal entries format, I would make working notes, I would write all assumptions so that I am able to solve the questions in exam in timely manner, as well as keep the presentation as required. So that is how I did my FR. If you have any queries, you can reach out to me in the comment section, or also reach out to me on LinkedIn. And to further benefit you all, I have decided to also include an FR certified copy analysis in this video itself. So to help you know what all has marks in FR and what writing what all does not fetch any marks, I will analyze 2 to 3 questions, and I have for you all I have prepared a suggested answer. Means suggested answer is of ICI. I have made markings in it of keywords where which would have marks. So you could compare it with your answers also with those suggested, and then we would be able to better analyze our performance. So here, the first learning. What is the first learning? I have started my financial reporting uh, from last question 6C. So my strategy was always to start from the question which I knew the best and where I would score full mark. So if you can see, I will also come to open the 6C answer. It is a fair value measurement question suggested. So here, see, the examiner has marked all the numbers where there were marks. So if I had written in shortcut manner it is possible I would not have got those step marks. If you see, the question is of 4 marks and I have got 8 ticks, that is 0.5 for each and total 4 marks. So this is how ICA evaluates. There will be step marks for each, so you have to do the same way. And I would prefer if you could follow card surgery or ICI's way, because that is a stepwise manner. Otherwise, even if your final answer is correct, you will get only half or 1 mark, because the process and the steps are not there. And the next question was Indus 115. It had a mix of ethics also. So here was able to secure 3 marks. You can read the question in detail and answer also. I marked the important points. So it is a theory question. I was able to write the correct conclusions for each part. You can see ticks are there that revenue should not be booked, it should be deferred, expensed off. And then I've written about ethical implication, integrity, objectivity, and all. You can just compare it and see how ICA marks for the theory questions. So that is, I think it was satisfactory, since the theory question and overall marking was also not too great for everyone. And then there comes India's 19 question, employee benefit. So here we had to find how much like what is the accounting treatment. We had to explain theoretically, not journal entry. So it was kind of unique for this part. It is ICA material question, but we usually do not follow this type of question. Hence, you could see I have marked, though answer is in the paragraph form, you can always write answer in this way, like I have written 5 into 200 means 5 PL for 200 employee and 10 PL for 800 employee. An examiner is given marks this way also. So you need not write these big paras which are written in the IC solution. The keywords should be matching. Wherever the words are matched, like it should be, provision should be made or recognized, given a tick. Amount of bonus, it is a constructive liability 17.5 crore, he has given a tick. That is for this question. And and one question which is always the deciding factor of how much marks you get in this paper, that is question 1. uh, my strategy was to attempt question 1 either at the last, that is at the end, or I would attempt it at the second last, because if I usually attempted it first, it would take 1 hour, and even then there is no guarantee that the answer or balance sheet would get matched, and it would take a lot of time and maybe reduce our confidence. So it was my strategy in mock test also, to which I developed based on my experience, to answer question 1, which is the 14-mark consolidation of business combination question, in the second last question. So because if I attempted it in the last, there would be many small minor errors which could make the whole solution wrong. So you can see here I have secured 13 marks, and my presentation is not as per ICI. Like, my working notes are not as per ICI. I have followed a card search presentation only, and still I was able to get. See, this is the tape I have made, a chart kind of thing. Still, ICI examiners do check everything. They read each and every part, so there is no need to be extremely worried that chapters like consolidation or business combination have this weird presentation or difficult presentation which is difficult to understand in ICA format. You can completely follow a card search format. And here I have see there is ticks. Only 1 mark was deducted, because here what I did was I added goodwill and brand, that is intangible asset. I have shown this total. Hence this 1 mark was deducted. So if you, and this question also, if you see, if you do consolidation with in a manner which is if you do it conceptually, follow the search 5 step format, and do all the ICA questions which are there in search book, then you will be able to do this question, or there would be hardly 1 or 2 adjustments which would be new, and it would not make your entire question wrong, because there is always this step marking concept in ICA. For other questions, I am putting the certified copy link and suggested answer link in the description box, which you can refer. Uh, and now coming to here I had also put some screenshots of my marks, so you could just refer that I am whatever advice I'm giving is authentic. So yeah, so these are the key tips which I have summarized. First one is follow the same book. You need to become master of one book and not run after many books. which is you have to do ICM material especially. Then one major issue is everyone does practical questions on calculator. If you do that, you will not be able to complete the paper, and that happens. 80-90% people won't be able to complete FR paper on time because it is very lengthy unless you do by hand and do mock test. And do not follow ABC analysis. You never know in which attempt which chapter comes for how many marks. And as Akash sir says, if the chapter you leave comes and there comes a very easy copy paste question, um, you will regret. And if you do, and because there could be a possibility that you did a chapter and from that chapter difficult question came. So what do you do in that case? You are not able to remember any of the questions. So you should do preparation of each and every chapters. One exception is there for theory part, which is there in the conceptual. You can do the important questions only, like qualitative characteristics and all. That is fine. But for numerical or other chapters, in-depth chapters, you need to do everything. And fourth, as I had already said, you need to strike off repetitive questions and reduce. Make a list of questions which you will revise on last day. Um, and exam tips. Starting with the answer, the best helps create the best impression in the eyes of the examiner because he doesn't know you. And then you need to attempt 100% paper, because if you attempt 100% paper with even 80% accuracy, you can score 80%. And if you only attempt 60, 70, 80 marks paper, you can do the math and see how much you are able to secure. Then exemption, scoring an exemption may become difficult too. And for questions where balance sheet is involved, this was specially for our attempt. What was observed was in question 1, which is balance sheet question, consolidation or business combination question, one half to 1.5 marks were deducted if a proper format of schedule 3 was not followed. So that is also important. So I would say for balance sheet questions, or where format is prescribed, say cash flow, follow the format. And for general questions like I have done, you can omit the narrations, and if time permits at the end of the paper, you can write those narrations. And even if you are not able to write those narrations, you can like if there is no time, then maximum half or 1 marks per question would be deducted. So I think if you put attempt whole paper, that much leverage or gap is fine to proceed, because only then you would be able to attempt 100% paper. So that was it from my side. If that was helpful, please like, share, and subscribe, and drop a comment how it was useful. And in case of any queries, please drop a comment. Thank you.